All right, guys. So today I wanted to record a video just talking about my philosophy of art and my approach to creativity. Because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding about what creativity is and how to actually utilize it. And I've made a couple of videos about this before, but this is something it is that I'm very passionate about because I think so much of our society has led us astray and it causes a lot more problems for artists than necessary. And I want to talk about the conflict between the mind and the heart. Okay, we have these two mechanisms, the heart and the mind. And when these two mechanisms of the heart and mind work together, we experience what we would call the flow state. We experience bliss. We experience the thing it is that we're supposed to experience in this existence. But what it is that's happened is that our minds have become so educated that we've kind of abandoned the heart, right? So what I mean by that is this is a phenomenon that a lot of us are experiencing, specifically right now. Maybe you sit down and you imagine what it is that you want. You try to picture exactly what it is that you want to create, what it is that you want in your life. And maybe you get the feeling of wanting to create a painting. And when you think of creating a painting, there's a sense of expansion in your chest. And this is your heart basically telling you that this is your path. Okay? Your path is to be a painter. If you can feel physically in your body this sense of relief, this sense of expansion, then that is telling you that this is the thing it is that your soul wants to experience in this reality, in this seemingly simulation or however it is that you want to think about it. This is what it is that your heart actually wants to experience. Now the problem is that we get this feeling, oh my God, I want to be a painter, I want to express myself creatively, or I want to be a game dev, or I want to do this, or I want to do that. And then the mind steps in. And the mind has been educated by the opinions of all the other people around us and their biases, sometimes their jealousy. People that are jealous of your talent can step on your step on your talent, or just the opinions of people in general, right? So the mind steps in and says, wait a minute, we can't just paint paintings. We can't just make video games or make music. You have bills to pay. You have obligations. You have obligations to this and you have obligations to that. And so we just can't do that, right? I mean, look at how many people try to make it as a painter and never are successful and never make any amount of money off of it. Look at how many games were released on Steam this last year. You really think that if you make a video game that it's going to actually make you any money or it's going to make any bit of a difference? You should actually pick safety and security over this, right? There's no reason to risk everything for this stupid little idea it is that you have. It's time to grow up and stop being such a child and be an adult, right? Now, the heart doesn't understand any of this. It doesn't understand the concept of money because money it's not real in the same sense. I mean, yes, we use money symbolically in order to pay for goods and things along these lines, but that's not what it is that I mean. The heart and the feelings it is that the heart felt whenever it said that it wanted to paint paintings and make video games or whatever, that's real. It's a tangible part of the experience it is that you're having in this reality. Okay? Now, what I want to communicate is that the heart already knows all the steps it is that you need to take in order to create the thing it is that you really want to create. The mind, however, is always trying to calculate things, right? So the mind, like I said, you want to be an artist. The mind looks 10 steps ahead and says, look at all these problems it is that you have to face in order to be able to do that. It's best to not even go down this road. The heart, though, it already knows all of the steps. In your heart, and this is something you can investigate for yourself by really considering what it is that I'm saying. The heart already has the blueprint for everything it is that you're supposed to do in your life. It has every single step. It has the step A to step Z. But the problem is the misunderstanding it is that we have is that the heart only communicates through a very subtle feeling in the body. Okay? It's that a sense of expansion, that sense of your chest opening up and feeling like life is actually happening, right? And the mind shuts this down. It shuts down the heart because we're living by the ideas of other people rather than understanding that each individual person has a blueprint of what it is that they really want to do in this existence, in this reality, in this simulation, if that's the way you want to think of it. And it gives you every single step it is that you need to take. But it will only give you the step that is relevant at that moment, right? So the heart says, I want to paint a painting. Follow that, regardless of what the mind says, because the mind is not your friend. It's not working to your benefit at all. It doesn't understand the language of the heart. It doesn't understand that actually the heart is the thing that's supposed to be driving everything. And the mind is more like a calculator, right? So we have to put the mind in its place and understand that the heart has all the steps, but it can only give you the next relevant step. Now, when you surrender to the path of the heart, what it is that you get is you actually get to do something that most people never get to do, which is that you actually get to live life. You actually get to live life. Okay? Because all you have to do is stay in the present moment and feel what it is that your heart is feeling and follow that. So the heart says, paint a painting. And you sit down and you paint a painting. And then it says, do it again, do another one. And then one day your heart says, well, it's time to go for a walk. And you go for a walk and you find yourself at a coffee shop and you just so happen to sit down next to a gallery owner at the coffee shop. And wow, what a synchronicity. This person is looking for artists to put in their gallery because they're just now starting this gallery. Okay. This is how it is that if you actually look at your experience, this is how it is that life plays out. This is the magic of life whenever it is we actually open ourselves to the magic of life. And notice that the mind would never have been able to calculate that synchronistic experience of running into a gallery owner at a coffee shop. For those that if your mind is trying to argue with me right now in this conversation, just pay attention to it. Just pay attention to how your mind is reacting to the information it is that I'm giving you right now. Because your mind wants to keep complete control over you. It wants to pretend like it's the one that's running the show, but it isn't, right? So this brings up a lot of things about free will and determinism and things like that. Maybe the only free will it is that we actually have is whether or not we actually listen to our heart. And when we listen to our heart, our soul grows, our soul expands. And I can tell you, and you can see this for yourself, if you honor your soul, if you honor this expansion, this growth of your soul, then you will never be left without a means to do that. Okay? The mind will always try to look out and try to predict what it is that's going to happen. But if you pay really close attention, most of the time it's completely wrong. It's completely wrong. So this is what it is that it means to be an artist. And this is what it is that I want to express to people that are wanting to do this. Do not look outside of yourself and look at the marketplace and look at the other people and how successful it is that they've been and begin to compare yourself to what it is that they're doing and whether or not and try to calculate this of whether or not you're going to be this successful or that successful or putting an expectation upon how it is that success is going to show up for you. This experience it is that we're having in life is a very private experience. It is not supposed to be something where we are constantly taking in the opinions and ideas of other people that are trying to tell us who it is that we are. And this is the problem it is that we have as artists, is that for years and years and years, people have been telling us that we're starving artists, that it's too difficult to go down this path. But this isn't true. The truth is that when you actually step into your power, when you step into the path of the heart, then you will find that whatever it is that you need, it will be there. It may not show up the way you want it to be, but it will be there. So right now, I want to announce at the end of this video here that I'm doing some coaching and mentoring for those who feel like they need it. And this can be on your technical abilities, but for me personally, I think a lot of it comes down to a psychological understanding. Because again, the technical abilities and things like that, those things can come to you in their own way, so long as you're not getting in your own way. And I want to focus a lot of more of my videos on expressing this. So I may end up repeating myself a lot on this video, but it's because we really need to understand the true nature of who it is that we are, which is that we are infinite beings having an experience in a temporary reality. And if we understand and can experience ourselves as being that infinite being, then we don't have to look outside of ourselves for anybody else to tell us what it is that we can and can't do in our lives. Okay? So, right now, if you look in the description below, I have a link there and some contact information if you feel like this would be something you would like to have. If you would like to meet and chat about this, feel free. If not, then please feel free to check out the different videos and stuff I have here on this channel, the tutorials and whatnot. Like I said, I'm going to continue to post some videos like this on a regular basis because I really feel like this is the core issue it is that we're having. It's not the technical abilities, right? It's not it's the understanding of what creativity really means. So thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening. I hope this resonated with you. Leave me a comment and take care.